Hello everyone and welcome to another SolidCAD presentation. Today's presentation will cover CTC software suites and the free tools that come with them. My name is Patrick Schimek and I am a technical consultant at SolidCAD on the AECO team, and today I'll be your presenter. For this presentation there are a few learning objectives. First, we're going to identify 3 CTC Revit software suites, subscribe tools versus free tools, look at a few workflows and key features within the free tools, and also, who doesn't like free tools that you could download right away and utilize within your current projects? BIM Project Suite. This suite streamlines routine tasks, dissects intricate modeling scenarios, retrieves model data, and accelerates workflows within the Revit environment. It is designed for users of varying expertise, and the BIM Project Suite caters to all skill levels and is embraced by firms of all sizes. These tools will be identified by utilizing the green color or green shades. BIM Manager Suite. The BIM Manager Suite contains management add-ins for Revit. It's a valuable resource for Revit users who are responsible for maintaining company BIM standards and project templates and component libraries. The suite significantly reduces the time spent on complex and repetitive tasks, transforming weeks of work into mere hours. These tools will be identified as the blue color or a blue shade. BIM Batch Suite. The BIM Batch Suite provides a collection of Revit add-ins designed to automate daily and weekly tasks. This suite can execute a batch of operations on either a single Revit project model or thousands of Revit families. It's a time-saving toolbox that can significantly increase efficiency for any Revit user, regardless of the scale of their tasks. These tools will be identified as a purple or pink shade. Now, with a little bit of background information on the suites, let's jump into a live demo and see some of the workflows and key features that can be used. So for one of the first tools that we're going to be looking at here is going to be the renumbering tool. Once you download the CTC suites, you will then have a tab at the top of your Revit environment where you have CTC Productivity, where here you'll find the CTC BIM Project Suite and also the CTC BIM Batch Suite. You'll also have another tab, the CTC Management tab at the very top, that will include the CTC BIM Manager Suite also. Within these tabs, depending on which suite you are using, you will see the differences between the paid tools and the free tools. Any of the light colors, like utilizing the BIM Project Suite right now, we see we have green colors, but we have some darker green and we have some light green. The free tools are always going to be the lighter color within the suite itself. So as we look into the BIM Project Suite, here I can see that we have 5 different tools. I'm going to be demonstrating one of the tools here right now, which is going to be renumbering. So what is the purpose of the renumbering tool? So many times when you are modeling your projects, you are going to want to renumber, or if things are being added or removed, things kind of get out of sequence. If we take a little bit of a closer look here, if I zoom into some of my rooms and my doors, here I can see I have some inconsistent door numbering. We have A101 to A102, but it's associated to a room called A141 and A140, or we just have wrong room numbers kind of across from each other. So typically what you'd be doing is manually inputting this data yourself by selecting the door and changing the mark value to make sure that the door value is the correct one that you want. With the renumbering tool, you could help automate that process, not only with a specific sequence, but it also can renumber it to the room number that is associated with that door. So let's take a look at this. So first thing is, in the CTC Productivity tab, I'm going to go to my renumbering tool. As it populates here, there are many different options inside of the renumbering tool. You have the ability to renumber rooms, areas, spaces, doors, which is going to be the example that I'm going to do here shortly, renumbering grids, detail numbers, and general. General is just the mark value within your elements. So we take a look at the doors, and I select from here. We have many different options that we could choose from. We can specify a specific sequence that we'd want, adding a prefix and then a starting sequence, or the other option that I'm going to use is room-based numbering. So the door will automatically identify which room it is a part of. So as I select room-based numbering, you then have the option select to room or from room. I'm going to turn on this auto swap number just to make sure that we do not have the exact same mark values as I start using this tool. So once you have the option selected, select renumber, and then zoom into your projects and start selecting the doors. You'll start to see that they'll automatically update to their appropriate values. Within just a few seconds, Revit has now updated the door numbering system to the sequence that it would like. Utilizing this tool makes things a lot easier for you to work with and quickly renumber any of the items like rooms, areas, spaces, doors, as in this example, grids, detail numbers, or just the general mark value within the different families that you have placed. Have you ever run into a situation where the views that you place onto a sheet are not properly aligning them? Possibly you print it out to PDF, and as you scroll through, you start to see that your views are misaligned. So how do you get them properly to be aligned with one another? So there are different ways inside of Revit where you could use a guide grid, you could use a detail line, reference plane, or create a title block with specific spacing options. So that's one of the ways. But another way that we could actually have everything properly aligned is utilizing one of the CTC free tools from the BIM project suite, which is called View Aligner. So to kind of show what the example is coming from here is, I got a few different sheets with views onto them. My sheet M101 has already a view on it. I'm just going to move it around and say that this is the correct location that I want my sheet to be placed on with the view. If I go now to my sheet M102, we can start to see that this view is not properly aligned or in place just like the other one. So as I open up the other sheets, we can start to see that they are misaligned also, not like the very first one. If I tile my views, you'll start to see a better example of this. Sometimes the views are not in the correct location or they're not even onto the sheet. So how can we get these quickly to be aligned with, say, one master sheet and the other ones follow suit? Well, inside of the CTC Productivity tab, underneath the BIM Project Suite, we once again have a great free tool here called View Aligner. It does what it says. Select the View Aligner tool. With the View Aligner tool, you only have a few options here. How would you like to align a view? So you're going to select a source and then apply that value to the other views within the sheets. So you could always top reference it, bottom reference it, center reference it, however you'd like. There's even levels and grids association also. So if we take a look at this, let it be the view and sheet in the top left is going to be my source sheet. I'm going to select the horizontal option, select my viewport first on the source sheet, and then work my way out to the other sheets. And as you can see, they start properly aligning them in a horizontal manner. Once I finish, I'm going to hit escape, and now I'm going to do the vertical formatting. Select vertical, select the source sheet, and then start selecting the respective sheets to it. In a matter of seconds here, you can see that now all of my views are properly aligned with each other based off of the scale that they're working with. And now as you print, everything will be properly in its position. You have probably run into a scenario within your Revit projects when it comes down to purging out or cleaning up your projects. Let it be if you're archiving a model, sending out the model to another consultant, or just cleaning up your project as you are working through it. So a couple of different ways that you would approach this, just Revit out of the box, would be utilizing the Purge and Use tool, or just doing some kind of manual browser organization and removing things as needed. One of the tools that can kind of help you expedite that process is inside of the CTC Management tab in the BIM Manager Suite. We got our free tools here in the light blue. We got the Project Cleaner. As I select the Project Cleaner, it opens up a dialog box where now I could specify some elements that I would like to kind of remove from my project. It's a nice visual kind of representation to identify certain things instead of manually going through your project itself and removing things as needed. So if we look at some of the different tabs and settings, we got views. You have the ability to look at your different views and again how it is divided up or the type of view that's being used. You could expand 3D views, select the ones you want to remove or keep. Let it be if I wanted to remove all the 3D views within this project. You also have schedules and legends. As you work down this tool, we do have other features that you could also remove that might not be that easy to do inside of Revit manually. We got view templates. As you expand view templates, you'll see based off of the type of view that you are using, you can then pick and choose which view templates you'd like to keep or remove within your certain project. This is a great tool also if you are creating a project template and you need to remove some of the content that's within that template itself to clean it up, and this tool will definitely help with that. Filters is another tab that we could use here. So as you can see, we can select multiple elements that we would like to remove. If you are archiving a model or sending a model off just to consultants and you don't want any sheets to be a part of your project, well, you got your sheets option. You can select your sheets and then pick and choose which ones you want to keep or which ones you would like to remove. Some other tabs here that you can remove some of the elements in your project. You got spatial objects, rooms and spaces. We got your links that you can verify. Also imports. Imports of CAD files are actually pretty difficult to find if you are not careful when it comes to importing CAD file, which you should typically be linking them inside. But this is a great tool where you could easily find the imports of the CAD files and get them removed so they are not living in your projects. The final option is also images, so you can remove any images as needed. And as you do make your selections, simply select remove and it gets rid of those items. There is also the purge option. This just goes to the Revit out of the box purging functions where you could furthermore purge out some of your elements, let it be if it's families or other styles that are part of your project. So utilize the project cleaner to your advantage to quickly see and visualize the elements that you'd like to remove from the project without kind of manually going through the project and making those elements being removed. The final tool that we're going to be looking at here is going to be the Family Exporter and Family Loader from the BIM Batch Suite. So inside of the CTC Productivity tab, within the BIM Batch Suite, you'll see that you have two free tools, the Family Exporter and the Family Loader. This is a great tool if you are looking to export a bunch of your families from your project, or if you're looking at templates and different kind of components that you like to change up within the different project environments. With the Family Exporter, you have a lot of capabilities here to how you want the families to be exported. Not only the family to be exported, but also how it's going to organize itself within your file explorer. So once I open the tool, I can now see that I have the ability to filter through the categories of the families that are in my project or geometry. So geometry is either model or annotation. Categories then going to be this specific option. You get furthermore expanding and selecting the specific families that you would like to export. With your selection then made, you have the option to create subfolders of how it's going to export within your system. So at the bottom, you do have the ability to go geometry and category. You got the category and geometry, geometry or category, or none at all. So you do have a lot of flexibility here to start exporting your families in a certain way and it being properly placed in certain folders. Also, there is an option to add a prefix or a suffix. So if you are archiving or if you're doing some kind of sequence when you're updating some families, you can then add a prefix or suffix to have that designation within its name. An example here just to kind of show is inside of the File Explorer. Here are some families already exported. So I have set it up by the geometry first. We got model or annotation. As I double click into model, you can then see it splits it up to its specific Revit categories. Same thing goes for the annotation families. If I go to the annotation folder, it is then divided up per that specific category. So once you have the families exported to the location as needed, there is also a free tool, part of the BIM Batch Suite. It's the Family Loader. As you select the Family Loader, from here you have the ability to select what families you'd like to load in, but also what projects you would like to have them loaded into also. There are some additional options here to furthermore the detail of how you want that family to be loaded. Like we have only reload families that already exist in each host file, or load all families into all host files. You do have some dialog boxes with the overriding the existing version and its parameters that can also be preset within these locations here. So with all these different tools from the suites that you have from the BIM Project Suite, BIM Manager Suite, or the BIM Batch Suite, there are many paid tools, but there are many free tools and they are great to use and definitely will be of benefit within your own projects. In conclusion, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today's presentation on the CTC suites. I hope everyone learned a lot of great information on the CTC suites, but also the tools that are free and can be used right now and today within your own project environment. Feel free to reach out to SolidCAD directly or to myself for any additional information you may need. Thank you.